Good morning, my students. Today we will continue our lesson quadratic functions. Our objective for this video is to solve an inequality in one variable x. To solve an inequality, we have to remember how to solve a quadratic equation, how to study the sign of a quadratic function, and to define an inequality. Solve a quadratic equation. If you remember, it means to find delta, and if delta is greater than 0, then we have two roots, x prime and x double prime. If delta equal to 0, then we have one double root, and if delta less than 0, we have no roots. But the last time we learned how to solve it by using calculator without calculating the discriminant. What do we mean by studying the sign of a quadratic function? It means to draw the table of sign according to delta and the value of a, and we have to remember the definition of an inequality. Let's start together. Our title is solving an inequality in one variable x. First of all, we have to recognize the definition of inequality. What is the meaning of inequality? Inequality means not equal. Not equal. Let's read the definition together. An inequality compares two values or quantities showing if one less than or greater than or simply not equal to another value. Inequality means not equal. Not equal means we have one of the following signs. We may have greater than, we may have less than, we may have greater than or equal, we may have less than or equal. These signs mean not equal. That is inequality. For example, I will give you some forms that you will see in our lesson. The first one, ax plus b less than 0, ax plus b less than or equal to 0, ax plus b greater than 0, and ax plus b greater than or equal to 0. What do we mean by ax plus b less than 0? It means when it is negative. What do we mean by ax plus b greater than 0? It means when it is positive. What do we mean by ax plus b greater than or equal to 0? That means when it is positive or 0. And what do we mean by less than or equal to 0? That means when it is negative or 0. We have also the following forms: ax squared plus bx plus c less than 0, less than 0. That means when it is negative, less than or equal to 0, greater than or equal to 0, and greater than 0. All these signs means inequality. Let's now see the steps to solve an inequality. We have to follow the following steps. First of all, change it to quadratic equation. That means put it equals to 0. Then we will solve it by finding delta and calculating the roots, but I have said that you can use the calculator. Then we will draw the table of sign, and we will look for the required sign and write the solution as interval. I will explain more in the following examples. the exercise is to solve the following inequalities. First of all, it is called inequality because we have the sign greater. What do we mean by greater than 0? I mean positive. What do we mean by x squared minus x minus 12 greater than 0? First of all, the word solve means find the value of x. This is the meaning of solve. Let's continue. When x squared minus x minus 12 is positive. This is the exact meaning of this inequality. To find the value of x when x squared minus x minus 12 is positive. First of all, according to the value of x, x squared minus x minus 12 may be positive, may be negative, may be 0. So, we don't want all these signs. I only want the positive sign. But I should draw the table of signs, then I will choose the required sign which is positive. Let's, the first step, go to draw the table of sign. So, the first step is to put x squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. The second step, we will use calculator and enter 1 minus 12, that is A, B, C to calculator, and the calculator will give me x prime 4, x double prime minus 3. Then we will draw the table of signs. X from minus infinity to plus infinity, and we will arrange the values of x from the smallest value to the greatest value, and here I will write the required function. Now I will put 0 at the roots. Minus 3 and minus 4 are called the roots. So x squared minus x minus 12 is 0 at minus 3 and 4. Because we have two roots, then delta is greater than 0. How we put the signs in the case of delta greater than 0? Inside the root we will put opposite sign of A, and outside the root we will put same sign as A. What is the sign of A? It is positive, so inside the root we will put opposite of A, and outside the root we will put same sign as A. This table gives you the different signs of x squared minus x minus 12. It gives you when it is positive, when it is negative, and when it is 0. But I don't want all the signs. I only want the positive sign. I only want the positive sign. So I will go and look for the positive sign. Here, positive sign, and here, positive sign. So, x squared minus x minus 12 is positive when x belong. The first interval is from minus infinity to minus 3. Look, the first plus is here. So x is from minus infinity to minus 3. So we will write the first plus sign as from minus infinity to minus 3. In all cases, minus infinity, at minus infinity and the plus infinity, always we will have open interval. So look, open interval. At minus 3, I put open interval because at minus 3 I have 0. And we don't write here or equal to 0. I only write greater than 0. I have another sign, so I put union and write another interval. The second positive sign is from 4 to plus infinity. So I put union 4 to plus infinity. And this is the solution. Now, suppose I asked you to find the value of x when x squared minus x minus 12 less than 0. What I mean by less than 0, I mean find the values of x when it is negative. So I will go and seek for negative sign. This is the negative sign. The negative sign is from minus 3 to 4. So the interval in this case will be from minus 3 to 4. Now I will give you another question. If I ask you to find x squared, to solve x squared minus x minus 12 less than or equal to 0, that means negative and 0. Negative from minus 3 to 4. The negative sign from minus 3 to 4. But I put or equal to 0. So when we have 0, I will take the value and put a closed interval because I want when it is 0. How I represent it? This is the closed interval. Let's continue by solving another example. Now we will solve the following inequality. 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 greater than or equals to 0. What do we mean by this? It means solve means find the value of x when 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 is positive or 0. I only want the values of x when this function is positive or 0, greater than or equal. I want to remind you that 4x squared minus 4x plus 1, it may be positive or negative or 0 according to the value of x. But I don't want all these signs. I only want the positive and the 0 signs. First of all, I will draw the table of sign to choose the signs I want. So I will follow the following steps. First of all, put 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals to 0 to find the roots. Second, we will use calculator and enter A4, B minus 4 and C1. The calculator will give you x equal half. This means 1 double root, and you will conclude that delta equals to 0. Now we will draw the table of sign. X from minus infinity to plus infinity, and this is the root. And we have 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. Now x equal half is the root. So at half we will put 0. We will put 0 because it is root. Here delta equals to 0. So the table same sign as A, and here same sign as A. What is the sign of A, the coefficient of x squared? It is positive. The table gives me these signs and 0. I want what is the value of x if 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. You will look for the positive signs and the 0. This is in reality all the table, positive and 0. This is all the table. You can say that x belong from minus infinity to plus infinity, or other students write from minus infinity to half. At minus infinity and plus infinity, always we have open interval, so I put open interval. At minus infinity to half I will put the closed interval. Why? Because I have or equal to 0. So at 0 here, at 0 means at half I will close the interval. Union, the second plus is from half to plus infinity, and at half I will close the interval. At half, I will close the interval to plus infinity. If I ask you to solve 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 only greater than 0, means only positive, what I will write? X belong. The first positive sign is from the first positive sign. This is from minus infinity to half. From minus infinity to half. At minus infinity, always open. At half, because I don't have here or equal, only greater than, so I will open it. Union, the second half from half, the second positive from half to plus infinity, and open interval. If now I ask you to solve 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 less than 0, what do we mean by less than? To find where is the negative sign, but I don't have negative in table, so the solution will be 5, empty set. Now please try to solve this inequality following the same steps. Now we will continue. We will solve 4x squared plus 3x plus 1 less than or equal to 0. What do we mean? It means that I want to find the value of x that gives me 4x squared plus 3x plus 1 negative or 0. I only want this function when it is negative or 0. So this function may be positive, may be negative, may be 0. But I don't want all these signs. I only want the negative and the 0. But I should draw the table of signs because it gives me all the signs of this function. First of all, 4x squared plus 3x plus 1 equals to 0. This step, we make this to find roots, to draw the table. The second step is to use calculator To find the roots, I will enter to calculator a equal 4, b equals 3, and c equals 1. The calculator will give you no real roots. That means delta less than 0. Delta is negative. Now, I will draw the table of signs. Now I will draw the table of sign. X from minus infinity to plus infinity. I have here no roots to write. And the function I want to study is 4x squared plus 3x plus 1. Because delta is negative, so in table we will put same sign as A. A is the coefficient of x squared. A is positive, so it is positive. Now, I want to find the value of x if 4x squared plus 3x plus 1 is less than or equal to 0. So, I want to look for the negative sign and 0 sign in the table. But I don't have minus sign in the table. I don't have 0 in the table. So the solution will be 5. No solution. Now, if I ask you to solve 4x squared plus 3x plus 1 greater than 0. What do we mean by greater than? I mean plus. That means I want the values of x that gives me it positive. So go to table and look for positive sign. This is positive sign. It is from minus infinity to plus infinity. So we will write x belong from minus infinity to plus infinity. And always at the plus infinity and minus infinity open interval. Okay, let's continue. Now, I want you to solve this. I want the value of x when this is negative or 0. First of all, we will draw the table of sign. For this, we say the numerator equals to 0 and the denominator does not equal to 0. Then we will draw the table of sign. Then we will write the interval when x gives me the value of this negative or 0. I will give you it as homework. Please try to solve it and try to solve this. But I want to give you hints. First of all, this side must be 0. Must be 0. So we will have x plus 1 over x minus 1 less than 0. Then we will take common denominator. That means here we have over 1, here we have over 1. We want to make the denominator x, so we multiply here by x and here by x and here by x and here by x. It will be x squared plus 1 minus x over x less than 0. I want to arrange them x squared, then x, then number. So it will be x squared minus x plus 1 over x less than 0. So you will draw table of sign for this. The numerator equal to 0, the denominator does not equal to 0. Then you draw the table of sign and look for the negative sign. And if you want to add other cases greater than 0, less than or equal to 0, as you want. And hope from you to try to solve this exercise.